All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And all I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watched this video and to stay tuned on in towards the end of this video, because I do have a ticker symbol to share with you guys that you won't want to miss and you definitely want to have on your watch list. But let's jump on in on this and we'll talk more about the other ticker symbol towards the end of this video. So Zomedica here has TRUFORMA launching as a product towards the end of this month. So the TRUFORMA medical device is a shoebox size medical device that will allow for veterinary offices to do lab work in-house. So instead of sending the lab work to the lab, they could do it in-house. And you could see here how much more efficient it's going to be able to make the veterinary office to make decisions for diagnosing issues and treatment. So you can see they obtain the sample, they put it on the cassette-like structure, put it into the TRUFORMA shoebox size medical device, and the results are in 20 minutes or less on average. So that's a big deal here for this product. Now, it's not the first one in the sector, it's not the first one in the market, but it's going to be a game changer, not for the market itself in the sector, but Zomedica as a whole. It's going to be able to receive a market share of what's already existed. So Zomedica is on its way to expansion. So in the long term, we will start to see earnings looking pretty good. The stock can do pretty well. But in the short term, I've seen two articles state how speculative it is. So let's look at them. In this verdict here, we can go ahead and see here how Zomedica is being approached by the writer of this article. And I want us to see two different articles that had completely different approaches and see how they ended it and what do you find similar. And that's what I want every single investor to be aware of. I'm not here to say that it won't reach $3 or it can't reach $5 or it can't break through $5 and reach $7 or plus that, but we want to be aware. So the first thing is that Zomedica could be worth an investment that is small relative to the size of your portfolio. So if the company performs well throughout the rest of this year and next year, it might be worth increasing your holdings further. Until then, it's a speculative purchase, and even if it's one that I'm optimistic about. So the writer of this article is pretty optimistic, but still recognizes that it's speculative. Now, the TRUFORMA medical device is a big game changer, and it's going to allow Zomedica to become profitable if that revenue kicks in and the net profit starts to show. So we're going to have to see later on. Now, this one is saying, you might want to increase your holdings further later on after this cools down. But right now in the short term, TRUFORMA is a big deal, and we're possibly going to see this stock reach, some newer highs if it breaks through $3 towards the TRUFORMA medical device launch because of the anticipation and the excitement. Now, the person goes to say, the risk of TRUFORMA flopping isn't as significant as the argument that the market has already priced in the device's release and expected earnings in the near term. Right now, the stock probably isn't going to repeat its quadruple-digit % growth anytime soon, even with the launch of TRUFORMA. So this person's not being so optimistic about it, and a lot of people are saying, well, we've already seen Zomedica, have its run. It's probably not even going to have that run up again because it already priced it in. I don't believe that. I think it's possible, but as long as the stock breaks through $3 and $3 and some change, so like $3.20, $3.50, it's going to definitely show some strength, and it could be on its way up closer to $5. But we're going to have to watch and see how this plays out. I mean, the stock has been running up pretty nicely in the last several days. So here we are. So if you keep your initial investment relatively small, you can still benefit from the potential upside of the launch. So then they go ahead and say, well, you can go ahead and benefit from the potential upside of the launch. So they just contradicted themselves. The launch is going to come soon, and then they went ahead and said, well, even the launch of TRUFORMA isn't going to allow the quadruple-digit % growth anytime soon. But you can go ahead and benefit still from the upside potential. That right there tells you there's still some room, but it won't be 4 times what you see, which then I probably kind of respect that, and it's basically saying that $5 to $7 we might not see, but $3 to $5 is possible. So the next few earnings reports without worrying about major losses if things don't go as planned. So it goes to say here, if you're really a long investor, the next earning reports should give you some room to grow or some excitement or speculative run in the stock because of the earnings that will be coming up, since Trueforma should generate revenue for the company. So we're going to look at our second article. So in the second article, we could see here how it says lots of love for ZOM stock, but should you join? So they give you the bullish outlook and then the bearish outlook and concerns for the stock. But I really like how the writer said here, is this the discount you're looking for? So they basically said, is now the time to strike into ZOM stock? And they basically said, I'm not opposed to a careful calculated nibble at these prices. Basically, announcing that there might be some room near future or in the long term. But basically these prices are an opportunity, sort of, even though it's still speculative in their eyes. And they said, after all, Zomedica has a strong social media following, and isn't that the most important catalyst that there is these days? Wow. That right there is an indirect message saying, okay, social media knows about it. That could be the catalyst. The Trueforma medical device is going to be a big catalyst. And then it goes back to the same thing, basically saying here, you can still benefit from the potential upside of the launch. This person says it indirectly, this person's saying it directly. And then the same speculative words and having a small position to your portfolio size is what this person goes ahead and basically says. They basically said here it's a speculative one, right? And they go ahead and say, so bottom line, if you have a dollar figure of speculation in mind regarding ZOM stock, put 10% of it down now and wait with the other 90% for a better read. So this person is basically tweaking their own horn or, pumping themselves up because they've been talking about Zoom in the past, and you can see it towards the beginning of the article. And they're basically saying, the next 90%, just wait. There might be a cool off, and it's everything that we're already expecting. So I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware that the launch is going to give potential, and in the long term, the revenue reports and earnings reports might give this stock an upward movement over time. But always remember that it is speculative. It's a speculative purchase, even when we are optimistic about it. So we want to keep that in mind in the back of our minds. But does Zomedica have the potential to break through $3 and break through $5? It certainly can, but it has to go ahead and break through the $3 mark, which was the highest point we reached in the last bull run. So that point of rejection is showing us a resistance. Now that needs to be broken through. Now we're currently sitting at 250. I mean, there has been a bullish run recently from the lows here of 140, 130. And from that point forward, it's just been pushing upwards. And that's a good sign. And the anticipation has started. But if it doesn't break through $3 in the next week or two, we have a very short period of time reaching into the 30th. So let's say it doesn't happen this week and it doesn't happen towards the end of this week. I mean, the anticipation is going to only give a little bit of room, and it's going to fight for it. So this needs to break through $3. And once it does that, it needs to test it, prove it, go towards 350. And if it can break through that, there is room for this to fall into anywhere between $3.80 to $5. The potential is there. We definitely want to keep that in mind. This stock has potential. I mean, especially just with the Trueforma launch. And in the long term, for anyone that's long, I do want you guys to be aware of everything we're talking about here, how speculative it is, but the fact that you always want to remember that earnings will start to look a lot better, specifically because the Trueforma device has been launched. So that's the expectation and the hope. As always, guys, if you learned something new, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Stay tuned to the end because I do have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss. Alright everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you guys to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Share it with a friend if you find it helpful and informative, and to stay tuned towards the end of this video because we have another ticker symbol to talk about And a lot of analysis ratings are looking pretty good, and articles are even stating that it's going to be the stock of the decade. So if you don't have the stock of the decade on your watch list, you definitely want to stay tuned on in for that information. And I hope you guys find it helpful and informative and interesting. That ticker symbol is going to be pretty revolutionizing in its sector and so forth. But let's talk more about what we want to look at here. So what is the stock here that has so much potential? It's a penny stock, and it is stock AYRO, Arrow, okay, Arrow stock. Now, who are they? Well, they are trying to be a zero emissions company to do the future of delivery, which is, you could see these small little trucks here. You can see them in the background. They're trying to be more in like the golf courses, like the hospitality, and then also doing like little food trucks and stuff like that, shaping the whole entire industry of delivering small packages or anything like that locally, probably is what I'm trying to see here. That's what they're really focusing on and trying to do a zero carbon footprint initiative, right? That's their true goal. You can kind of see the golf course here kind of style, and then you can kind of see in the background it looks like a campus. So when we go down here, they're looking to be in campuses, hotels and resorts, food and beverage retail, and probably even the government. And that's exactly what they're trying to do right now. So if they go ahead and get into this initiative and jump on the boat with what their goal is, which we're going to look at an article right now, they're already incorporating themselves into the government, and it's going to change the way things are delivered and done. And this Arrow company right here, this little cart right here, reminds me of Solo. Remember Solo? You can imagine that Solo probably has more power than this one and so forth, but this company here is working their way to making vehicles that last a little bit longer, because right now a lot of their vehicles go up to like probably 50 miles and up to probably 100, like you could see here, that they're trying to be in the 100 top cities. So this is going to be something where people can even rent these and drive around, have fun. I don't know, it's almost like being in a golf court or a go-kart around the city, right? That's what they're trying to do. Now, I don't know how much miles this one can do. The Solo, I don't know if you guys have heard about it before. It could do a little bit more, and it has a little bit of power. But, I mean, this company here is really taking a shot and trying to be in the EV sector. And this is the EV penny stock right now that has so much potential. Obviously, you're placing a bet on it because it still has a lot of room to grow or do a lot to prove itself. But what it's trying to do so far is pretty interesting. And let's look at institutional ownership. So institutional ownership is pretty interesting. But before we look at that, I want you guys to see here how the common stocks are being awarded to insiders, right? You can see here, these are directors and so forth. They're all receiving awards right now. You can see how many shares they change by, how many are remaining. Very interesting that they're all being awarded since the middle of last year and throughout the past as well. But since the middle of last year all the way till now, you could see a lot of these awards going on in October, December, and then right now in February, a lot of them have been awarded. So they're being granted shares. They're being paid by shares. So there's some reason behind this. It's to motivate those directors, those workers, to keep on pushing forward, grow the company, and also be rewarded through shares. That's the whole point of that, right? It's going ahead and doing that. So let's go ahead and look at institutional ownership. So there's some big players here that own big amounts, but from even the past, all the way back in 2012, 15, 16, 18, 19, and 2021, there's a few that have loaded up, and you can see here the 2021 have loaded up the most. And you can see here in February, it's where it's happened. 1 million, 1 million, 3 million. Very interesting. So we have Vanguard, Morgan and Stanley here. We have even BlackRock, all in this recent buying and holding positions. So a lot of new buying positions have happened. Some have closed out. You could see that, but there's a lot more green, right? And you can even see here almost 2 million going on. You could see Vanguard on the 12th of February. They loaded up right there, almost 300,000 shares. Let's just say it. And they could go ahead and load up more and reach or surpass 300,000. And you could see others here loading up their positions as well all these last several months, from like January till now in February. And you could see BlackRock here owning 250. They could probably break through the 300,000 as well. And when we come up here, you can see that Vanguard owns other positions as well in other indexes. And I really like Morgan and Stanley being here and surpassing Vanguard's and BlackRock's position, because they're a lot more conservative and they're being pretty bullish right now. So pretty interesting to me. Obviously, it's not large amounts, but there's institutional investors taking a shot at it. So that says a lot about the company. Definitely go check out the website. AYRO.com will take you right to it, or you can just look at arrow.com, or website on Google, and it should pop up, give you so much more information about the insight, the outlook of the company, and what they're trying to do. And I mean, I could see people even purchasing these little guys here that we were looking at that looked like the Solo car for, just driving around the city close by and not really doing a lot of emissions or going really far. And it's a small charging amount of capability to get that full charge, probably, since it's such a small cart, and it'll probably drive you a few distances here and there. And we'll have to see the top speed as well, if it could be on the roads. But like I said, this is so game changing. I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts on it. And let's look here at the chart. So the chart started to pick up some steam here back in October, and it ran up to $11, came back down to $5, ran back up to 11. So 11 seems to be, a rejection point. If it could break through that, we could see this break out to newer highs, and it pulled right back down to almost $4, and it's running back up to 7. This stock here is showing some consolidation though from these lows down here of $2, and even down here again $2. So far there is some strength of not retouching these lows and showing itself some strength at the $4 range. If it can stay above $4, I think this stock has potential, and if it can even hold up above 5, even better. And it could finally break through 11 if catalyst and potential continues to push this upwards. I mean, that's going to be a good sign. Now, earnings in the past, when you look at it, I can't pick it up here. It's not letting me. Let's see what's going on. There we go. Earnings in the past has been a little bit negative, and we could see over here as well, negative. And then right here, let's see what their estimate is. It's 0.10. If they can beat it, that might be a good sign for the company. If they do worse, it could probably pull down the stock a little bit. So earnings is coming up soon. So there's no better time than now to have this on your watch list to look out for opportunities. Obviously, institutional ownership is not so bullish. You could see that they're not having that much above the millions, especially big banks. But when you look at other institutional investors, they're taking a bet on it above $1 million, and you can see it right here by these other institutional investors. This one right here is owning up to $4 million. I mean, I could see so much going on for the future of this company. Early on, it's going to have its hiccups. It's small. It needs to prove itself. People need to adapt to it and like it and want it and realize it's worth it, and it's going to change the industries that they're trying to go ahead and get into, and it's just going to make everything so much more different. And you can literally see here like a janitor working. I mean, I can definitely see a janitor driving one of these around instead of being gas, zero emissions, all electric, EV completely. And I mean, with the way things are changing, every little detail of zero emissions with the zero carbon footprint is going to make a big difference in the world and in the communities and just in this sector of the EV sector. I look forward to seeing what you guys really think about it. Comment down below how you feel about it. Have you done some research on it? Did you know about it before seeing this video?